I hit 100,000 views, and let me tell you, look at some of the YouTubers that you love. If it is that they have some of their older videos still up on their channel, look at their videos then and compare it to now, and that should be your motivation. I was obsessing over what camera should I get. The downside to using a camera is that now you have to learn how to edit more. That fear of not being perfect to start, the fear of not knowing everything right now can really keep you stuck. Hey lovies, welcome back to my channel. My name is Shan. If you have never been here before, welcome. I've seen this video done by other creators and I felt like I wanted to share what my journey has been like and how YouTube has changed my life personally, right? First, before we get into the video, look at these. Look at these. Beautiful. These are my pre-Valentine's Day flowers. I am in love. Of course, the blooming is a giveaway, so you should know by now that I love flowers, but more so sunflowers. In love. Mister, if you're seeing this, thank you. I love them. Pretty girls deserve pretty flowers. I feel like there are so many people out there. You might be watching this and you're considering starting your own YouTube channel, and you're probably having the same feelings that I did before I started, and you probably just started and you're having some of the same concerns and some of the same emotions that I'm currently having. So I figured this video might help you. I decided to separate it in different sections so I can break them down. Hopefully, if you know me, you know I do not do scripts because it's so much harder to go through and run, but we'll get into that. I personally just like to flow, but for this video, I did not want to miss anything, and I wanted to focus on the most important things, the things that I think will benefit you and will also benefit me, because I go back sometimes to watch my videos and I learn new things. So let's get into the video. One of the first things for me was figuring out why I wanted to start YouTube. Initially, the thought of YouTube came about more so because people would say to me, why don't you start a YouTube channel? Now, if you do not know, I have a podcast called A Woman Like You that's on Spotify and on Apple. People would say to me, why don't you start a YouTube channel? I heard, but it was like, I don't know. I am what you call an introverted extrovert. Why? I suffer from social anxiety. So if you do, this video is for you. For me to get into spaces with large groups of people or intimate groups, that I have that block to get over before I can do that. Once I'm there, however, I show up and I function as my best and my highest self. It's just to get over that. And so I felt like YouTube felt like a large space to get into. Now, for my podcast, I have no control over where it goes, but people aren't seeing me. And so I had to figure out why I wanted to do it. Eventually, I realized that I like to talk, right? I do. And also, I realized that this was a way that I could reach more people, that I could connect with people. And I like connecting. I like pouring into people. I like encouraging people, and I like sharing my experiences. So once I figured that part out, then I realized, okay, maybe I do need to start a YouTube channel. It shouldn't just be because I see a ton of people doing it or I see the potential to make money. That is good. But when you don't see that happening fast enough, then that can kind of wear you out. And this is where you become discouraged and you run out of ideas quickly. So figure out why. Once I figured out why I wanted to start YouTube, my next question was, what was stopping me? So what's hindering me from starting my channel? And I realized it was a number of things. I felt like I needed to be perfect. And that is usually the thing that keeps us from doing things that we will excel at, things that we will become great at. That fear of not being perfect to start, the fear of not knowing everything right now can really keep you stuck. And so I realized that was my reason for not giving it a try. I felt like it was such a learning curve for me, and it is for a lot of people, especially if you have never been into editing, if you've never been into filming. I felt like I needed to get everything to start. One of the things that I remember obsessing over when I was about to start was, I took months doing this, by the way. I wasted a number of months because right now I am at month 5. I think I uploaded my first video 5 months ago. And if I had just gone ahead and started, I would not have been great at it, but I would be way further. But I was obsessing over what camera should I get, what lighting do I need, and I was watching all sorts of YouTube channels, equipment for starting YouTube, equipment for YouTube videos. I was looking up microphones. When I started, I already had a camera. So I'm on my Canon M50 right now, which I also learned afterwards that once you get the camera, now you need to get the lens. Now I'm using a prime lens, and it gives that nice blur to the background, which is great. However, that takes time. When I started, if I didn't have a camera, I could have started with my phone. You can start with your phone, because here's what they don't tell you. If you start a YouTube channel with your phone, you might find that you have better quality videos with your phone if you do not know much about editing, because the downside to using a camera is that now you have to learn how to edit more. The phone will give you better colors than what the camera will give you right off the bat, or most cameras. I say that because I haven't used any other cameras but my M50. So the color quality that you'll find with your camera, you might be shocked, because the first time I filmed and I pulled my SD card out and I looked at my computer, I was like, what is this? Why does this look this way? And then of course, my first couple of videos, I used my kit lens, which wasn't the best either. It was very grainy and all that. So I say that to say, all you have is your phone. If you have your iPhone 14, 13, 12, whatever, I've seen people film YouTube videos saying that they're using their iPhone 10s. I do not know about like Androids. I do not use Android, so I cannot speak for those. I don't think I've seen many YouTubers share their filming experience from Android. I'm not saying that an Android isn't good for YouTube. I'm saying I can only speak off an iPhone because I use iPhones. So if you have your iPhone and you're ready to go, set it up, get a good tripod. What I will do, I'll try to insert the links below. The tripods that I use, I've been using this one here for a number of months, and I haven't had any issues with it. Nothing's broken. It's still sturdy. It goes up far enough. So I'll insert that below if you're looking for a good tripod. I'll also try to find my ring light. I think I'm using a 26-inch ring light. I think so. I also have additional lighting. If there is anything that you want to know, I am of course open to share. And yeah, right now I'm using my 24 lens on that's a pancake lens on my Canon. But again, if you are not there yet, I would not suggest that you go and invest a lot of money into starting, because the truth is, the videos that you start out with, you might hate them afterwards. As you grow, as you develop, you might realize, this wasn't it. But you cannot really fail when you think about it. And that takes me to my next point. That was one of the things that was keeping me from starting, the fact that I was worried about failing. So YouTube definitely helped to build my confidence. Now, I'm a pretty confident person personally, but when it comes on to failing, especially failing publicly, I have an issue with that. And so I learned that there is no real way to fail, because right now I'm still under 500 subscribers. However, I celebrate the small wins. So for me, recently I saw that I hit 100,000 views, and let me tell you, that felt like I hit 100,000 subscribers. And so I kind of just said, yep, 100,000 subscribers. I claimed it. I put it out there, and I'm like, yeah, this won't be long. You have to keep going. You will not see the numbers that you wanted to see, because I had a figure in mind, and I was like, wait, we're at month 4, we're at month 3, where's the progress? But over time, you do see it. You just have to put in the work and realize that there is no way to fail, because even if you don't make it to the point, like so many people quit before they even know if they could be really big and really good at this. Even if you don't make it to 1 million subscribers, and of course, if you're starting with that in mind, positive mindset all the way through. But even if you don't take it that far, just the fact that you're able to look back at your growth, you're able to look back at how you developed, you're able to look at how you present yourself, you're able to work on your presentation, how you speak to people, because that is definitely something that YouTube has done for me. I'm usually pretty good at my delivery, but over time, I learned how to present myself better. I learned how to speak better to people, because you get used to, while it is that you are speaking to yourself, like somewhere in the back of your head, you do know that you're speaking to an audience. So that has helped me, my social anxiety, that has helped me to present myself, but not have to process like a large arena or a large crowd. I feel like YouTube has pushed me to that point where I've done like public speaking before. I have spoken in large rooms before, but now if I have to present myself, if I have to articulate myself, YouTube has helped me to feel more confident, to feel more okay with putting myself out there. And it helped me to improve on and it definitely helped me to improve on my delivery. I think if you're an introvert, but you like speaking to yourself, this is also a good platform for you, because even though you are introverted, I'm sure that there are things that you want to say. There are thoughts that you have. There is something that you have that you can share with others. It's just that you're not going to just walk out to a space that you don't know these people and present yourself. So I feel like it is a safe place for introverts to share their thoughts with the world. I have seen YouTubers who just sit at their bedsides and share, who just lay in bed and hold their phones up or hold their cameras up and share. And what they're sharing is still important to someone. It still gets to where it needs to get to. So that's one thing you need to know, that even though you might not be the person who's going to be, social butterfly, know that what you have to share is still important. Someone still needs to hear your experiences. Someone still needs to hear the message, because while it might not be for me, it might not be for that person, there are people out there that it is for. But if you do not share it, how will they get it? Okay, so this takes me to the most important part, the most important point. Start. Just start. Start filming. Start getting to feel comfortable, to find your lighting. Some people don't even use additional lighting. They just find an area in their house where the lighting is better, near a window, whatever. Start figuring that out. I tell you what, my first 2 or 3 videos that I filmed did not have audio, because I thought I set it up. It wasn't set up right. I thought, because I was using the microphone that came with my camera, and my very first filming that I did, the microphone was not turned on. Now I was ready to run with that one. What I didn't realize is how important it was to just start filming. So I sat and I recorded a whole maybe 25-minute video. Bam, camera was off, all of that dead. So these are the things that you want to familiarize yourself with. I now just use this is, I don't even remember what it's called. I'll try to insert the link too, but I found this to be so effective because you get 2 microphones. You just need to click them on, and the source for it, I plug into the camera, and I can use both at the same time. For now, this works for me. I'm sure maybe later on I might want to invest in something else, but for now, this works, and it's cheap. I think I paid less than $30 for this. This is a cheap investment. So you want to ensure that you have good quality audio, but still do not go over the top just spending. If you're about to start, you might want to plan your content ahead of time. Now I have gotten a hang a little bit, I'll say. So I have like at least one video ahead. So in the event that I don't get to film on the day when I had planned, at least I have a backup video. I have videos that I filmed and I'm not, afterwards you watch it, I'm not so sure about it, but it's still there as a filler just in case I don't get to do the ones that I want to do. So start filming. It might not be the best quality. If you do not know anything about editing, obviously it's not going to be the best, like you can tell. I tell you what, I'll give you a homework. When you're done here, look at some of the YouTubers that you love. If it is that they have some of their older videos still up on their channel, look at their videos then and compare it to now. And that should be your motivation, that they didn't start out as perfect as they are right now. They didn't get the hang of lighting. They didn't get the hang of thumbnails. They didn't get the hang of any of the other things that you're worried about. just overnight, especially if you didn't go to film school and graphic designing school and whatever. It takes time for you to master these things. I'm still learning my personal style, but that's another thing that YouTube is doing for me. When you are in your planning phase, understand that this is where you get to play around with ideas. You get to try new things. I would not encourage anyone to focus on any particular thing, especially when they're starting out. You'll see influencers and whoever say, oh, you have to niche down. But I feel like when you start, that gives you some wiggle room. So like my first couple of videos, I was doing vlogging and I realized how time consuming it is, how important it is to capture everything. I didn't feel comfortable filming, having other people in my videos because I felt like I either needed to get a new lens where I can blur them out or I needed to just give it a break. And so I did give it a break. Now I feel like I might start to incorporate more vlogs later on because I feel like now I'm getting a hang of it. Now I feel like people can still get their privacy when I am vlogging. You can make mistakes. Like it's okay to make mistakes, especially when you are starting, because people don't know you enough to care. People don't know you enough to realize that you even made mistakes. Usually when you start out, you'll just have a handful of people who genuinely support you, I have people who they like my video even before they watch it. So really it's whether or not they like the video, like it, they hit like because they want to support, because they want to help build my channel. I have people who will just share even before they got a chance to watch it to know if I'm saying nothing that makes sense to them, but it's that support. Those are really the people who care about your content to start. So that is where you can make all the mistakes. That's where you can mess up with editing. That's where you can feel out what people prefer to see, the kind of content that people prefer, and then you can build from there. So when you start, don't start thinking that, oh my God, I'm going to fail at this. Oh my God, people will see that this never worked out and all that. No, see it as a way for you to get over that learning curve. One, for you to build yourself. Two, for you to get comfortable with the camera. Three, and also for you to figure out what style works for you, what kind of thumbnails you want to do, what kind of feel you want to have on your page. So just start. One of the other ways that YouTube has changed my life is building my portfolio, building my resume. Before I started, I knew nothing really about editing more than just going to the Instagram app and going to CapCut and da. That's all I knew. Now I'm learning, even CapCut, when I do use CapCut, I am learning more about how other functions work, functions that I never cared about. I'm learning now. I use other editors. I use DaVinci Resolve, and I'm learning how more now to work everything to figure out how to color grade and stuff like that. These are things I did not care about before. These are things that I never looked into. It was never important to me. But now, in the event that I'll ever, maybe one day, who knows, I might be editing videos for other creators. I might be editing YouTube videos for a living. I might be doing something that has me in that field. I definitely have not gone to filming school, but eventually you're building yourself. You're learning more. I'm learning more about lighting, learning more about equipment. Some time ago, 2 years ago, a year ago, if someone asked me anything about cameras, I'd be like, no, I only know this brand, that brand, that brand. Now I'm able to know more about lens, and I'm learning about aperture, and I'm learning about, you know what I mean? So it's definitely helping me to build myself, to learn more. I'm investing in myself. There are things that I have purchased for YouTube that I can use in other areas of my life. Like I was saying to someone recently that now if I want to like film special family occasions, I can do that. I'm learning my way around the camera so that the day might come when I want to do photography or I want to do videography. And a lot of the things that I would have learned, it's because of the way YouTube has changed my life. So don't ever see it as I am going to fail. There is no way to fail. There is no way you can lose, because regardless of what you do with the channel, regardless of how far it grows, regardless of if you ever get one of those silver or gold plaques, regardless of if you ever hit 100,000, 200,000, 1 million subscribers, there's always something for you to get. And hey, if there's something that you can gain from it and it's free, that's another thing. You don't have to pay for membership to upload videos. So if you can gain knowledge while you're working and building yourself and building your platform, there is no possible loss for you. It's a win-win situation, one way or the other. Just start. one of the things for me that I had to figure out, and this would go back to planning, was whether or not I wanted to do scripted or unscripted videos. Now, at first I was like, okay, I like to have everything planned. So at first I was like, okay, I need to know exactly what I'm going to say. That did not work for me because even now I jotted down the things that I want to talk about and still I skipped something because this is coming later on than the order that I had it in. I realized that when you script anyway, for the most part, that's just me, unless you're going to read from a prompter or whatever, you're going to have an idea what you want to say. But for me to sit here and say, imagine me holding my phone or holding it down. Now I have to stop looking into the camera. Okay, YouTube has changed my life because it has been a great way for me to express myself. Most people can't do that, okay? There are people who are gifted with that. That's not for me. And I feel better with just natural flow of things, just flowing. So it's okay to make notes, and that's just my style. It's okay for me to make notes and just take a quick glance or whatever. But as far as scripting the whole thing out, that can definitely throw you off because you might not remember them anyway. And then you might be caught up because when you have a script, right, and you miss one word can throw your entire thing off. If that works for you, if you're good at writing scripts and reading them, but it's also so very time consuming. And I'll tell you the truth, if you're scripting before you start, I know for a fact you're just finding more and more ways how to delay the process, right? You should be starting, just try filming, just trying to see what it comes out as. Bear in mind that you can also upload your first video. You can do so privately. So you can go back and watch it from your TV. You can watch it from your laptop. You can watch it from your phone, watch it over and over and over again. So you can learn new things before you go public. But if you are watching this video and you have not started yet, comment below what's your real reason for not starting, because all of these things that I just listed should encourage you to just start. Just start filming. I don't care what phone you're using until you get something better. Start with that at least to learn how to talk to the camera, at least to become comfortable with speaking to an audience, whether or not you know that they're there, right? Understand that when you start your first day, doesn't matter how big you are, your first day, your first couple of weeks, you will not blow up. You might have a video that go viral, might not. There are people who had to just put in the work and keep going. But I tell you what, one thing I do know is that your life will change. It can also change negatively because sometimes I've seen people make the mistake of putting too much out there and then it turns around to haunt them. However, if you figure out while you're planning to start, if you figure out what your boundaries are, what you're willing to share and not share, who you're willing to share and not share, then you should be fine. You should be okay with just starting. So this is my charge to you to start. If this was your intention, if you've always wanted to start filming. The minute you see this, as soon as you get some time, put your camera up. If you do not have a tripod yet, I'll leave the link below. But if you don't, put it somewhere, sit in front of it, talk to yourself, get used to talking to yourself, get used to hearing your voice, how you sound, get used to knowing what you want to talk about, going with the flow, and just get going. If there's anything that you'd like for me to help you with, I mean, hey, I still have under 500 subscribers, but if you haven't started yet, maybe there's something that I know that you don't know. And if you have more subscribers or if you have more knowledge in some of the things that I don't, leave a comment down below. Share so, we can build each other. We can help to improve each other's lives. If you like this video, do not forget to hit like. If you feel like there's something in here of quality to you or someone else that you know that might want to start a channel and they're asking themselves, is it worth it? Is it worth the stress? Is it worth the time that I have to put in? Go ahead and send them this video. Let them decide if there is anything in there for them. But do not forget to subscribe to my channel. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Oh, before we go, let me just take give my flowers a last little moment. See that? Look at that. Look at that sunflower. Oh my God. You see that? Oh God, I love flowers, by the way. I do. I don't know. I know there are women who don't, but I do. And it's amazing when you have someone who knows you and knows how to make you smile. So yes, don't mind me, ladies. Don't mind me. But yeah, thank you so very much for joining me. And did I say that already? I think I did. I think I did say I'll see you in the next video, did I? But yeah, if I didn't, I'll see you in the next video. Bye. Let me see. Water first. Whew. I don't know if that's too bright. Is it? It looks fine. Do I look shiny? Maybe I can fix that while I'm editing. Looks okay to me. I don't know. Maybe I should. Let me see. Does that look? I think that looks fine. Maybe come closer. I don't know. I should maybe. Let me